This practice is kind of complicated, and we're going to do a version of it today that's a little bit simplified at a few key moments. The goal is not to train you primarily in how to do it on your own. You can do that in other contexts, but to let you follow along if you're doing it for the first time. And if you've done this practice and you know some of the nuances that I will gloss over to keep it a little bit simple, feel free, of course, to do it the full shebang, such as it is. So Wujigong, the key concept is the Wújí, which can be translated as the primordial or whatever the sort of empty non-version of taiji is. Taiji is the symbol often represented by the yin-yang pattern. And that's sometimes referred to as the great ultimate or the great ridgepole, or if you like Mircea Eliade, it's the axis mundi around which everything turns. But the cosmological concept or idea of what comes before the taiji is this emptiness, often represented by an open circle. That's the Wújí. And in this form, what we're going to do is we're going to ritually turn to the four cardinal directions, symbolically, energetically gathering into us all of the things that at some level want symbolically or literally to return to the primordial from whence they all came. And along the way, we're going to do a lot of yin and yang symbolism. So with that in mind, let's begin. So for this, you want to stand at the beginning facing east. And so here for me, this is east, and that'll be my east. It's actually the cardinal direction east. If you don't know which direction east is, you can just say looking into your screen is your east. So you're kind of looking in with me. And if it turns out that your screen is oriented such that it's easier just to face the screen anyway, you can call that your east for the purpose of this practice. So I'm going to begin in a moment facing this way, facing into the east, but I'll start facing you just to show you as we begin the practice. So the practice begins standing with your feet about shoulder width apart. Your arms are at the sides, kind of like the sides of the body, with the middle fingers pointing toward the bones of your thighs, and a little bit of roundedness, so there's space underneath each armpit. And I don't know if you can see with the background here very well, but my fingers curving down a little bit, not quite touching. And so in this position, if you feel comfortable doing so, close your eyes. You can always keep the eyes open the entire time. And curl the tip of your tongue up to touch the roof of your mouth. And have it, if you can, touching a little bit back into the mouth, on the roof of the mouth, back from the teeth, on what's the soft palate. So if you put your tongue up to the roof of your mouth, the part near the teeth is called the hard palate, and you go back to where it begins to get soft. So touching the soft palate, as if you're closing a circuit. If you know, it's the microcosmic orbit circuit, where the governor channel comes down the front line of the face and ends at the roof of the mouth. And the conception channel begins in the lower palate. The tongue touching the roof of the mouth at the soft palate symbolizes closing or connecting that circuit really deep inside. And breathe. Hold this longer, but here we'll just hold it for these few seconds. When you're ready to continue, you open the eyes, and you keep the arms kind of out like so, but you bring them a bit forward in front of the body, so that now the center point of each palm is aiming at your navel. I'll show you just from the side. And of course, you're facing to whatever your east is, but I'm showing it to you here like this. So the Wujigong points are aiming at the navel, the eyes are open. Now the tongue is still up touching the roof of the mouth, but it's moved a little bit toward the teeth, toward the hard palate. And if some of this needs to be modified, or if you forget to do some details, no harm will come to you. It doesn't have to be perfect. So here to begin, as we do this practice, let the rhythm of your breath be natural. Don't try to bring it into phase with the movement. If it falls into phase of the movement on its own, that's fine, but don't try to make it happen. It doesn't make it any better for how we're doing this. What you're going to do now is you're going to begin to let the arms rise up out in front of you as if a thin filament's pulling up on the wrist as you sink the hips a little bit. And then you curl the elbows back and you stand upright, the hands come down in front. Now I'm going to mirror you. You take your right hand and you place it palm up in front of the body, your left hand palm down. On this form, your right will be your yin side. But this form, right is yin and your left is yang. I'm doing the opposite just to get you the feel of it here. It's like you're holding a small ball in front of the navel. And you're going to shift to your right and press the left, the yang hand straight down very gently, palm down. And your right hand is going to reach out to about shoulder height out in front of the body, about a 45-degree angle, looking over the fingertips like you're giving props up to the yin energy. And you're going to shift back to center, now holding the small ball. Your left hand is below, your right hand is on top. You're going to shift to your left. Your right yin hand is going to push down in the center. Your left yang hand reaches out in front, palm up about the height of your shoulders. Look over the fingertips like you're giving props up to the yang energy. You're going to come back to the center, hold the small ball in front of the navel. You're going to lift that up, the imaginary ball or the energy ball. You're going to bring it down out in front of the body as you squat your butt back. And you take the ball down and you imagine the ball comes up through the center of your body, coming up through the body, and imagine it emerges from your heart. So you're holding the small ball in front of the heart. Now I'm going to turn to the east so we can do this together. You can just follow along. You take that small ball, you're going to reach up over your right shoulder. I'm doing it with you now. We're facing into the east, but we're looking up, holding the ball up high over behind us over the right shoulder, like we're gathering into the ball the energy of the moon. And you come back facing east, holding the ball in front of your heart. Lift up over your left shoulder, look up at it, stretch up like you're gathering into the ball the energy of the sun, the yang energy of the sun, back to the heart. One more time up over your right shoulder, gather into the ball the energy of the stars and planets, and then you're going to face into the east like you're holding a large ball. Your right hand is down below, your left hand is on top. It looks like this, your right below, left on top. And now we're going to begin to gather symbolically energy from the four directions. So you're going to shift your way forward as you circle your bottom hand, your right hand up, your left hand comes down on the body, circle back to the front, your right hand's below, left hand is above. Shift your way to the right and just turn to your left. And you're going to step and face the left. And we're going to simplify this. If you know the whole form, we're going to simplify it a little bit. Just hold that large ball here. Your right hand below, your left hand above. You're going to shift the way forward, keep the feet flat as you circle the right hand up. Circle back as you shift the way back, like you've turned the ball, gathering energy from the second direction, from your north. Shift the way to the right, turn and face away from the screen, step forward, and if you know the full form, we're holding the ball. We're just going to do it top and bottom each time. So your right hand is below, your left hand is above. You're looking away from the screen, but you feel free to look back over the shoulder and see me if you want. You're going to shift the weight forward as your right hand circles up. Shift the weight back as the right hand circles down. Shift the weight to your right foot. Shift and turn to the left. You're holding that ball again. Your big ball, your right hand's below, your left hand's on top. You're going to shift forward as the right hand circles up. Shift back as the right hand circles down. You gather energy from the earth, churning it and turning this ball from the four directions. You're going to take your hands wide. You're going to squat down. If you got a doggy, just let the doggy do what it does. You're going to bring the hands like you're lifting golden elixir out of a puddle or out of I don't know, something you're standing in. You bring it over the head, and you can imagine you're pouring it down over the front line of the body. Hands are going to be in front of the navel. You're facing now to your south, or you're facing just that direction with me, like we're together in a room. I'm going to pause here for a moment. You can close the eyes. We've done what's called one earth cycle, gathering earth energy from the four directions. The earth energy is symbolically or energetically yin-ish, the energy of yin. Now we're going to begin to gather the yang energy. So here you're going to hold a small ball in front of your navel, your right hand.